If you're new to this channel, my name is Daniel Lungu. I'm all about helping individuals with their most important financial goals, how to save, how to invest, and how to focus on the things that matter to you the most. Today we're in Austin, Texas, out of all places, and today's episode is all about finding out the ugly truth of how much you need to have at any given age. What is your actual net worth should be at any given age? A lot of the time it's hard for us to find out and ask people how much money do they have. But today I will teach you some of the top 3 methods that you can calculate how much money you should have and what is my preferred method of calculating your net worth. So stay tuned and let's get started. All right, so the first thing that we have to focus about when discussing net worth at any given age is what is net worth. So net worth comes down to like an equation, which means your total assets minus your total liabilities. Now you might be wondering, what are my assets and what are my liabilities? So assets are things that actually have value to them. Those can be your physical possessions like jewelry, paintings, etc. Or it can be things like your house, your investments, all the things that you have that are adding a positive value that represent who you are. Your liabilities, on the other hand, are the things that are deter from your total value. And that can be your credit cards, your house mortgage, your student loans, all the things that if you take them, that you actually need to subtract them in order to understand what is your net worth. Now, I want to clarify something. Net worth can be either positive or negative. Now, don't be harsh on yourself if you run that equation and you find out that maybe in early stages of your life, your net worth may be negative. And that can be due to several reasons. Maybe you just bought a house and you have a massive mortgage. So when you put those on the equation, that can actually lead to a negative net worth. Or perhaps you have student loans that you've been carrying after graduation. Those can also result in a negative net worth. Now, a lot of times when we compare ourselves and we look at some of the charts of what perhaps our net worth, we need to focus on 2 different things, and today I want to clarify them. Those can be what is the average net worth and what is the median net worth. Because when we look in those 2, you might be confused, where am I standing? So what is the average? The average net worth is by taking all the individuals in your age group and you add all of their income and you divide by the amount of people in that age group. Now, a lot of the time that result can be very much skewed, and in fact, if you look at the average net worth for an age of 30, that should be somewhere in the north of 600,000. Now you might say, I have nearly close to that amount, which is why we are focusing on the median. The median is the number that if you look at the bell curve, it's the number that represents the middle. The individuals who are in the middle of the group, and that's where you take that age group. So if you look at the median of your net worth, the median net worth, that individual, for example, in the age of 30, they're supposed to be only close to $11,000. So keep that in mind when you see those charts when I'm about to share with you. Don't necessarily focus on the average, focus on the median. All right, so the first method when it comes to calculating net worth it's what I call the rule of thumb. So the rule of thumb is when you are 20 years old, your net worth should be practically 0. When you are turning 30, your net worth should be equal to 1 time your annual salary. That is, again, your net worth. Now, as we progress towards your 40, you want to have at least 3 times of your annual salary. And as you progress to 40, anywhere between 4 to 6. As you closely progress towards, again, your retirement age is supposed to be especially closer to the 65. Anywhere between 8 to 10 or 6 to 8 is more of the safe zone. Again, that's the rule of thumb of where you want to be when it comes to your net worth. Now, the second method when it comes to calculating your net worth is actually through the useful equation that came up from the guys who wrote the book, The Millionaire Next Door. And that equation comes down to your net worth should be your age times your pre-tax salary divided by 10. So let's do a quick example. If you're 20 years old and your salary is $25,000, okay, your net worth should be $50,000, right? Because you take 20 times 25,000, that's 500,000, divide that by 10, that brings us down to $50,000. So that's the second, again, rough method of how you calculate your net worth. Coming soon, next we're gonna talk about my preferred, as a financial advisor, my preferred method of actually calculating your net worth and what I use for all of my clients. Stay tuned.